Radio Raheem here with Robert Garcia. You know, you're a busy man, Robert, and the next fight, at least the fight that we're here for today, is Brandon Rios versus Timothy Bradley. Everybody knows Brandon's a banger. Timothy likes to bang too, but Timothy also likes to box. Brandon isn't into that so much. So what is your strategy going in if Timothy tries to outbox him instead of just being willing to slug?
You know what, that's my next big fight, but I have fights Friday, Hector Tanajara, and I have fight Saturday, Alex Voltsdik. So, you know, we're busy. Yes, we are busy. You know, Timothy Bradley is always going to be in great shape. He's always going to give the fans a great fight. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. You know, we're just happy to get this opportunity. We're happy that finally got a date. You know, after 10 months, Brandon's gonna be back. You know, after such a great performance. I think this should have been Brandon's third fight this year, but for whatever reason, it's not. Brandon feels like he was suspended after the Alvarez fight because, you know, I think he fought sooner when he was suspended than now. So for him, he's you know, he's just motivated, man. We're glad we finally got this date, and now preparing to fight a great fighter, a great boxer, and not only that, but a great person too.
Now, there was a lot of talk of Rios and Provodnikov for a while. We thought that might be the fight that was made, maybe more tailor-made stylistically for Brandon. So again, stylistically, how does Brandon approach a boxer like Timothy Bradley who can slug?
Look, Brandon was ready to fight anybody. Brandon just wanted to fight, and yes, there was also talk, because at first there was talk about Brandon Bradley. Then for whatever reason they said, oh, Bradley didn't want the fight or whatever it was. Now what we know, because he was having trouble with Joel, you know, so the fight didn't happen. So there was talk about him fighting Provodnikov. We were ready for it. Brandon's ready for it, but you know, we get the title opportunity against Bradley. Provodnikov is always going to be there. Provodnikov could be our next fight. Brandon's going to be ready for Bradley this time. You know, he's not focused on nobody else. He's focused on Bradley, and he's going to go out and give a good performance.
You think there's any opportunity there with the trainer change? I mean, it's been a while since Teddy Atlas has been in somebody's corner. Obviously, changing trainers after, what, 11 years together could disrupt Timothy's rhythm. Are you looking for that at all, or in any way that could be an advantage for you?
You know what? I don't think it's an advantage or disadvantage. I think Timothy Bradley is already the Timothy Bradley that has been a 5-time champion. Bradley could have trained with his wife and still be the same Timothy Bradley. You know, Teddy Atlas is not going to change anything. Teddy Atlas is not going to be anything good or wrong for Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley is going to be Timothy Bradley with or without Alice or Joel Diaz. He's going to be the best out there. He's in great shape all the time, and that's how he needs to be.
Touch on a couple more of your stars. Chavez Jr. was successful in his last fight. I think you said you were not pleased with the performance. You feel like you have a couple of fights to get him where you need him to be. We saw Badu Jack this past weekend. People are making that comparison, talking about that matchup. Is that a matchup you feel like is in your plans, like a Chavez is ready for that fight? Would he look good in a fight like that?
Look, even before the fight, I always said I need at least 3 to 4 fights with Chavez to be able to make some changes. And, you know, come the day of the fight, yes, there was a few rounds where maybe I wasn't pleased, but I know it's a process. You know, there was also 1 or 2 rounds that he did really good using his jab, and that's all I needed to see. I needed to see him at least give me 1 or 2 rounds, and to see that that he at least tried. You know, there was some changes there, so I was pleased. I was happy that we came out with the win. Now there's talk about Badu Jack. You know, I'm ready for it. You know, if that's what his team does, you know, I'm sure Badu Jack wants the fight. Chavez, if his team decides they want to do the fight, I'm up for it. I'm ready for it.
Another guy that we haven't talked about in a long time, but has been discussed and in comeback status, Margarito, Antonio Margarito. Is that a conversation that you've had? Is there truth to that? Is Margarito headed back to the ring?
Look, I've talked to Margarito many times. You know, he comes to Riverside to visit us. We're always on the phone, but no, you know, I'm not. You know, right now he's the only one that could make that decision. I'm more than happy to to help him if he needs my help, and I'll be supporting him all the way. But it's his decision. He hasn't really told me anything until I hear it from him. Then I could answer those questions.
Have you seen in the interim him at all? Is he in shape? Obviously, boxing is not the kind of sport you can just take a huge amount of time off and come back and start where you were. Have you seen anything in the interim that make you feel like he could return and be who he was before?
He's in better shape than he was before right now. We've seen him, and he's on weight. If he wants to fight at 154, I think he's already on weight. This guy is always in shape, but it's not because he's getting ready to fight. It's because Margarito has always, even after his fights, he's always continued running and eating healthy. He's in tremendous shape.
And lastly, Nonito Donaire, there's been just like he's coming back, he's ready to fight again. Where do you feel like he is in his career, and where can you take Nonito Donaire from this point? Can he make it back to the elite status? What is it going to take? Look,
Nonito was pound for pound one of the best. Then there was a few fights where he was off focus also. People think that he's done, just like Brandon, the Alvarez 2 fight. Then Brandon doesn't look good against Pacquiao. Those fights happen in their career. That happened to Nonito too. But Nonito has looked sensational in his last couple of fights, and if I'm not mistaken, they're pushing for him to fight for a world title soon. So I know Nonito, his dad is doing a great job with him lately, and I know he's got all the potential of becoming one of the best pound for pound fighters out there again.
And lastly, Robert, with all the guys in your camp, stars and guys on the rise, what fight are you most looking forward to from a trainer's perspective? What can't you wait to get in the ring and do?
Well, I'm not going to be in the ring in that fight, but I can't wait for Cotto Canelo.
Who you got?
It's a really good fight. Cotto has looked very good in his last 3 fights. I think for him, getting with Roach was probably the best thing that could have happened to him. He's looked sensational. I think he's it's gonna be hard for Canelo, but I still think Canelo's gonna Canelo's young, strong, fast. So I pick Canelo, but it won't be easy. And that's the fight I'm really excited for.
Robert Garcia, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. Radio Raheem with Robert Garcia.